here with Erik Juul-Mortensen, the TFWA President. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. Welcome.
You're welcome.
One of the questions I wanted to ask you, obviously at the conference, you had to tell it like it was, should we say. You were being very transparent and telling the industry to kind of wake up to a new reality, as you've said in the past as well. And I know that currency has been probably the major issue, or one of the major issues. In your conversations with visitors, is there any one currency in particular that you think has had the most damage?
Well, you know as well as I do, the ruble has suffered a lot. The Chinese yuan has suffered a lot. So it's a broad spectrum, and but I think currency is just one of the issues. There are many other issues that we see around. So it's not perhaps as rosy and optimistic as we've seen in the past, and that's what I try to demonstrate, that we need to be aware of that. The industry needs to be aware of that, and that means we need to double. We need to be doing more of the right things we do right to do more of that to overcome that. And I think we will. I'm sure we will.
Yeah, and as you've mentioned to me before, there are numerous reports from different exhibitors as to how busy the exhibition actually feels, what the footfall is, and as we both know, some exhibitors experience a really good show, and other exhibitors feel that they have been, haven't had a more disappointing performance. What has been the feedback overall this year?
Certainly the feedback I've got has been all around very, very positive, and people are really delighted with the number of meetings they've had. And I believe some companies really have done extra, in the light of the difficult time, they have really put extra effort into to make sure their product offer, their whole presence in the market has been a bit more attractive. So I think it does give some energy to the whole thing when things are not that easy out there. But it's true, I've been around so many years, too many will say, that almost every year you have companies that there are not as many visitors as last year are there. Even if we're able to demonstrate fact, black on white, that yes, the numbers are good.
And yet you'll still get the critique, unfortunately.
It will always be there.
Of course. And in terms of, we've talked about the exhibition getting bigger. I mean, what are the options? I mean, as you said before, you want to keep everything central. You don't want to have too many different parts of the puzzle, so to speak. What are the options going forward? Because it is getting bigger.
They are limited. They are limited. We are talking with the city of Cannes, and they are aware. We are not the only event here that suffers from lack of space. Our problem is twofold. We have a very long waiting list of companies that rightly deserve a space and an opportunity. And we're doing what we can to accommodate as many as possible every year, but it is difficult because there is no more space. And secondly, we have a very justified requirement from many current exhibitors that want more space to fully show their products, to fully have the meeting facilities they should have. So it's a twofold problem. We also said we're talking to the city of Cannes. At the same time, we're looking at the possibilities that are here. Can we change the configuration of the tents? Can we put more temporary structures in to do that? I'd be very concerned if we were to make small exhibitions around the city. I don't believe in that, and I think that would be a wrong thing to do.
Can you just remind us of the figures again? I know that you said that they mentioned -2% in people and companies at this stage. Is that correct?
Yes, we still have a day to go at this time, and we're down 2% in terms of companies and 2% in terms of delegates. And that is seen on the background of last year, which was the biggest ever. So you have to put it in perspective, and I can assure you, given the circumstances out there, given the consolidation in the industry and all the other factors we talked about at the beginning of the week, I think 2% is a very, very good figure. Not only that, when you look at the category of duty-free operators, retailers, is actually up 2%. So other groups have suffered more, and for me that is perhaps a little bit surprising even, given the situation. But that's fact, and I think that that's important.
Definitely pleasantly surprising. For
Pleasantly
the
surprising,
examiners.
yeah.
And finally, I'd like to ask you a question about your ongoing presidency and whether you plan to run again.
I certainly don't want to run anywhere at the moment.
Definitely not feeling the way you do right now,
No,
I can imagine.
no. I've had that question a couple of times this week, as perhaps not surprisingly. And I've said, and I would say to you as well, that I really think that the management committee and the board deserve to hear that. First of all, I don't decide. The management committee decides, and it's not my decision anyway if I should stand, if I would be elected. But I really think that the management committee and the board deserve to hear that first and make a decision. And that would be very soon. We have the next management committee in mid-December in Paris, where the decision will be made. And if I am to put myself forward, I will have to do that 30 days in advance of that meeting. So we're getting very close to doing that.
Okay. Well, it's been great having you here. Thanks for taking some time out of your very, very busy schedule, and maybe we'll see you here next year, maybe not.
Maybe not, yeah, maybe
Watch
yes.
this space.
Watch this space, yeah. Thank you very much, and I hope you've had a good time here.
I have, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Erik.
Good.